Welcome to Bridgeway Bikes, your source for bikes and fun for everyone. My name's Eric Hartice, the founder and owner of it. What I think opening a bike shop is a good idea. Well, to put it succinctly, the world needs more people on bikes. The world needs more people riding bikes for longer times. And in order to make that happen, we need bike shops. Brunswick, Maryland, this fabulous old railroad town along the Potomac River and along the C&O Canal bike path, didn't have a bike shop for about a year. And I thought after 22 years of teaching in a public high school that my next chapter should be about helping people find their way to a bike and helping people who are already cyclists find their way for more biking. Why Bridgeway? Because we're just a short way from the bridge here in Brunswick. But also, the way of a bridge is to span divides, to bring people together. When bridges are built, there's something new and something that's greater than the sum of its parts. That comes about, and that's the type of bike shop we want to be. We want something that brings people together, that gives you a new perspective, that is more than just the sum of our parts. Here we have bikes that we sell, we have bikes that we rent, bikes that are used, and bikes that are new. We have bikes for people that are very accomplished riders, and bikes for people who are just getting back to bicycles for the first time, or in some cases, picking up a bike for the first time. And so we're trying to do the best we can in this funky little bike shop to help riders of all sorts find ways to keep the rubber going smoothly.
Cleaner things are lighter and work better. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. I am Merlyn. I am the mechanic here at Bridgeway Bikes. How I got started is kind of a weird little story. In high school, I was in boarding school, and so I came out of my dormitory, was headed towards the main building, and somebody came up behind me and grabbed me by the shoulders and shook me until I stopped moving, and they whispered in my ear, "Hey, get a bicycle. Take it apart, put it back together, take it to your friend Jay who owns a shop, see if you did it right, fix it, and continue." I turned around, there was nobody there. At that point I ran to the main building and called my father and told him the story, and he was like, "Sounds great, let's get a bike." And that's how we got started. And here I am, 45 years later, continuing. Still continuing. Since then, I've been all over the world as a bicycle mechanic and a bicycle race mechanic, working for teams and neutral is when you work for everyone, or everyone who is not supported. Work for touring companies, race teams, my own neutral support company. I've worked mountain bike races, road races, cyclocross races. I'm the founder of Neutral Support for cyclocross. Gravel races, some tri. In that time, some of the companies I worked for were component manufacturers, Shimano, Campagnolo, Mavic, SRAM. Some were bicycle manufacturing companies, and some was just on my own, running my own program for either mountain or cyclocross. Mostly in New England. I'm from New England originally, so this is the culprit that makes your shifting look kind of like crap.
Yeah.
There's enough flex in the wire sticking out here for it to never really shift right, and so that makes it so I can't really adjust it perfectly.
Yeah.
And the combination of that on that end and on this end, So it's twice as much.
Yeah, I see that.
These index shifting systems work on very precise cable tension.
Yeah.
And if that's enough to throw it off to the point where it'll never work right. So trimming it off is one way of dealing with it. However, it's also an indication of how much wear there is on the liner on the inside.
Yeah.
So we're going to snake another piece of housing in there. Why here? Eric and I both worked at another bike shop about a year ago. I guess we first met. I was already working there. I was the service manager there. And then Eric came in to do an assortment of other jobs. And as it turns out, we got along really well. So Eric came in one day all excited. He wanted to open a new bike shop. And he told me about this one that had been in Brunswick, Maryland, and didn't exist anymore. And the town had gone about a year without a bike shop. It was in a great location, 2 blocks from the C&O Canal Trail, and wondered if I would come and have a look at it with him. So I did, and one thing and another, and here we are. And Brunswick is a small town, a lot of nice people in it. I kind of fell for it because, being from New England and living, more than 20 years in Vermont, which, is notorious for small towns. I really like this town. It's got a good vibe to it. It's got a lot of great things going on. This is the only bike shop in town. And between here and DC, which is mile 0, we're at mile 55, and there are no other bike shops in that space. And we do a great business. Eric is a great bike shop owner, and he's easygoing and easy to work with, and he has a genuine caring about people. There have been a few moments that have really changed my life as a mechanic.
That's what I was saying.
One of those is getting my race mechanics license. This can be done by taking the USA Cycling's race mechanics class. I took mine in 1990. I had technically been working as a race mechanic for about 2 years before that, but without any real formal training, and it was kind of haphazard. It was the 80s, very 80s style haphazard. So I took the class in 1990, and it really opened a door to so much more knowledge, so much more how far you could go as a mechanic. And then later on, I've taught that class and taken my license as far as I can take it. And it's taken me pretty far as well. The first question that I ask when teaching that class is, what is the primary role of a race mechanic? People say fast wheel changes or fast bike changes or any number of different things. The right answer is the safety of the riders. And to me, there is nothing more important. And that's what I keep in mind while I'm working on bikes. The right way the first time, and keep going until you get it right. And safety of the riders, there's just nothing more important than that. Whether you're a beginner or a kid or somebody who's starting to race or somebody who's a pro, doesn't matter. The answer is the same every single time. And with that in mind, that's the way I work on all bikes. Not just racing, but everything. Every bike in this shop I've laid hands on. All the bikes in the showroom, all the pre-owned bikes, all the new bikes. I've worked on all of them. Bridgeway Bikes is a good place to work on bikes. I like it here a lot. And I have no plans to be anywhere else. I've traveled the world, and there's something unique about this place. Can't quite put my finger on what it is, but I like it here. So come see it. Come check it out.
So that's Bridgeway Bikes.